just cuts me like a knife inside. Well, you're wrong. Or were you just leaving high? You always said that I've let you down so many times, but now you see that all I ever did was try to get your attention for just one little loving word. But now I'm gone, and our bridge is about to burn. I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. Here we go. We just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me when will the spotting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you run? Or will you just leaving high?
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Why not?
Makes no sense.
Oh, that's because Frank's in the house.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a special Monday. I don't think it's hot at all. It's kind of comfortable today.
I'm going to talk to my doctor, and now he's calling me. Sorry, Mike, I got to talk to you during commercial break.
Interesting. Welcome to, what is it today? The Gate?
Today's the Lions Gate. Anyone know what the Lions Gate is? It is the greatest day of the year for manifestation.
Was supposed to open up a new
8-8.
portal.
It's the Lions
Frank, you're
Gate
opening
portal.
up a new
Everything is in alignment. Everything. The pyramids of Giza, all the way up to Orion's belt, everything is in alignment. It's 8-8, and you know if you turn the 8 sideways, you get infinity.
You know, if you turn the 6 upside down, you get a 9. So I don't know what any of that means.
We're not going there.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Just saying.
Happy Monday, everyone. Give us a call live in studio. We've got a lot going on today. It's about manifesting. So we were told at 8:08, since we missed our morning manifestation, if you did, you can try again today at 808-404. It is the magic and the power of 8. 888-994-4995, Studio A. We got a lot going on. We had more, but someone dislocated their hips. So Danielle, I'm hoping you feel better. Ebony, I guess we
I
had a
didn't know you wanted
miscommunication.
Ebony to sing. She would have sang, absolutely.
So by the time I got into B, there the door was closed. And I didn't realize
Everybody
you were
left
done,
me
and
and Crystal.
Christine.
And there was nobody around.
Oh, really?
So we didn't know that you wanted to keep her.
We were doing Josh's show, and then we were changing NDIs and making some phone calls because, you know, Girls Night South Florida is right around the corner. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, my friends. Thank you for playing my song. Cece, we miss you.
Yes.
We got to get Cece in to do some music.
We do. But we opened up with Cece's song. Thank you for sharing that with us, my friend. Love that song. It's going to be a million hits
So
on
what,
that song. soon.
500,000. Social media is crazy. So if you like the show, please share it out. Let us know what you're thinking and how your Monday is. Kids are back in school. They are in orientation. I Don't Have to Like You by CeCe Clevenger, but I love you. Because that's a thing.
But it's true, right? You don't have to like people
But you love
to
them?
work people. Well, I don't know about the love word. That's
I
the
don't
L
know.
word. You know,
I
guys
guess
run.
that's like a family thing, right? You don't have to like your
Guys
family,
from the
but you
Bronx-
love them because they're your family, but you don't have to
No,
like them.
you have to love your family.
You have to
you're
love
stuck
them, but
with
you
it.
don't have to like them,
Yeah.
right? It's not a thing. You can love that they're your family, but you may not like them. But I don't think that was the intent of the song.
Well, in the Bronx, you like, and you sort of go the L word the other way.
So we got a lot going on. So we should really get right into our tea
Yeah, so it
because
doesn't get
it's
cold.
hot. So Girls Night South Florida is an event happening November 10th right here in Boca Raton at the Grill on Congress. And Elise Roberts, who is a new friend of ours and a new friend of Spirit Life TV, she has spoken with some of her vendors and offered them this amazing opportunity to spotlight their business on the cafe. And Rose Hall is joining us of Tessie's Tea. So she came all the way up via the Bronx, from Jamaica to the Bronx to Coral Springs to Port St. Lucie and back down.
Yeshiva University.
And Yeshiva University. And she's here, so I want to get into the tea while it's hot. The tea.
Say hello.
Say hello to Rose. Hey, Rose, how are you doing?
Another rose.
I love this. We've got Rose coming in later today. Tell us about Tessie's Tea, and then we're going to share it with everybody.
Okay, great. So
Let's get
I'm
you
a
closer
lover
to your
of tea.
mic.
I'm a lover of tea. I'm originally from Jamaica, West Indies. My grandfather lived to be 107.
Wow.
He drank a lot of tea. He believed that whatever we needed in nature to cure ourselves was available to us if we took the time to research it and look into it. So I named my company after my mom because in our house growing up, you could not leave without drinking a good cup of tea in the morning. That's how we got started. So after having several professions, professor, working for Albert Einstein College of Medicine, the school board, all these different jobs, I retired and finally started my tea company. I've been to over 7 countries sourcing tea, understanding the tea business. I've been to China, to Singapore, the Philippines,
Because of the tea?
because of the tea.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Where's Bree? Bree, come on out here. I want to know how she made this. This is the best tea I've ever tasted in my freaking life.
Which one is this one?
The
This
first
is
one.
the date.
Did you just put just the tea bag
Tessie
and hot water?
Rose made them.
That's it? You didn't put anything else in this thing? This
Nothing.
thing is freaking amazing.
Josh, can you check the spelling on tea, please?
Maybe
This
that's
is the
right way
date
to do
because I'm
it.
assuming it's the dark one.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So you've got
This is
3
unreal.
The date tea is our #1 seller.
I can see why.
Dates are amazing. They're considered a superfood because of the way the body metabolizes it. They say there's a lot of vitamins and minerals found in dates that your body recognizes, so it's very easy for you to digest it.
Wow.
It has zinc for brain functioning. Zinc is something we don't get in our diet. We usually have to add it as a supplement. It has potassium for heart health and a tremendous amount of vitamin C. And it is our #1
How
seller,
is it
the
on
date tea.
sugar?
So remember, those are freeze dried. So it's freeze dried into, so it crystallizes it. So, and it has a tiny bit of raw and processed cane. So when you pour water on it, it totally dissolves and everything is consumed. Nothing is thrown out. So it's very easy and convenient because all you ever need is water. Because it's been freeze dried, it's water soluble. It'll dissolve in hot or cold water. With hot water immediately, with cold water, you have to literally stir it in or shake it up.
So the date is good for digestion, you said.
It's good for.
She
it
said
has
she can
zinc.
breathe. She came in today ready to go home. She was so congested from being back home for the weekend.
So
She's
she
like,
must be drinking the mint then.
what are you drinking?
Oh,
The ginger?
Okay.
She's like, I
This
can
is-
breathe.
So ginger, so it's actually pieces of ginger coated with honey and freeze dried. So of course it's water soluble to break down in hot or cold water. Ginger is good for
I had tried that one.
myriad of things.
This is unbelievable. And, you know, when I picked this up, I thought it was going to be like
is
tea,
the
like
ginger.
bitter.
Anya, which one are
Because
you
I
drinking?
put a lot of lemon.
You
in
have
my
the mint?
teas.
Yeah, she came in coughing. She's drinking the mint, and she's not coughing. This is like,
To everyone back in the
Medicine.
studio, no one's sniffling in there.
if you knew what this studio, it's been circling.
Really?
3 were sick last week. 1 just went home. This one can't go home, but now she's got to stay.
This is actually really good.
So ginger is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, boosts your immune system, has antiviral properties. Ginger is absolutely amazing. There's a woman in Fort Lauderdale that buys a tremendous amount of tea from me, and I ask her, you know, not that we don't want to sell it to you, but how come you buy so much? She says it's ginger. I bake cookies with it. I put it in my stir fry. I put it also in my smoothies. The
Wow.
ginger is amazing.
Christine, you want some tea? Tea? You're good?
Now,
But your ginger isn't bitter like a lot of the other ginger teas.
because of the honey. The honey helps to really kind of make it very soothing.
The honey's within
Ooh.
the tea, so it's not added.
That has
No,
a,
nothing needs to be added other than
that clean
water.
my sinuses.
you
it's all
need it
there.
too.
You could taste the ginger. The ginger is very gingery.
Gingerbread, it would be great for cookies, right?
Absolutely. And the mint is good for anything respiratory, postnasal drip, asthma, bronchitis, dries up mucus, moves it out your body, good for gut health, good for digestion. And if you drink it warm at night, helps you relax so that you can sleep. And peppermint is a natural appetite suppressant, so if you drink it before a meal, it'll help you also manage your weight.
Anya, I'm in. This is a different kind of mint, though, too.
It's a peppermint. It's definitely a peppermint. There's a gentleman on the beach also that we sell tea to, and I asked him, I'm like, why does he buy so much tea? And he says him and his buddies go fishing and they add bourbon to it and they make mint juleps. Another guy says he adds it to his mojito.
I could see
A
that.
whole nother level.
Now, all these teas are sold separately. It's just the 3 boxes that you have there.
Right. We're not doing tea for tea's sake. We're only doing tea that has medicinal benefits. So right now we have 3. The next one that's going to come online is going to be hibiscus.
All right, so I have to ask, you did not go to school. You have your PhD, but not in tea psychology.
No.
How did you end up, through all of your journey, through education, all these amazing degrees, to making tea?
Grew up drinking tea with my grandfather and my mom, and coming from Jamaica, and also just finding out that there's so many great medicinal things in spices, herbs, as well as roots, and ginger is a root. So usually in my house, when you get sick, you don't pop a pill or run to the pharmacy. My kids call me, say, "Mom, what should we be drinking?" So we're into self-care.
Did you say tea psychology?
We're teasing.
Oh,
No pun intended. Ha, I'm teasing. Get it?
got it.
He's going to tell you, Anya, you got to work with me a little bit more. Today is National Happiness Day, by the way.
Serious cup. What? I believe you.
Natural happiness happens. It's in this cup. How do you feel?
This cup I drink it slowly. This is one that you sort of,
Which one is that?
this is the one with the ginger. And ginger is very good for your stomach.
Yes, it is.
So this one I would sip. The darker one, which I love,
It's like, yeah.
is with the bourbon. I gotta tell you, bourbon in that or lemon or something, watch out now. But this one, I can actually feel it working as it's going down. Sort of takes away the inflammation in the back of my throat. I guess I had a little allergies.
Your
This is pretty
allergies are
good.
always bad.
I know, me and Bree gave them to me.
But I got to tell you, I don't hear any sniffling from Studio A right now. Right?
Are you having the ginger? That's the next one.
They're unbelievable. How do people order them?
Online.
And your
Online.
website is?
Tessie'sTea.com. We've gotten, through an organization called I Fund Women, we got a grant from American Express. So we've gotten some advertising done, and we're, we're trying to get the word out because we're a company that a lot of people, of course, are not aware exists as yet.
So how did you get a grant from American Express?
There's an organization called I Fund Women, and their sole purpose is to get monies to for entrepreneur women.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now I see the teas, and then I see a whole bunch of other stuff.
So we have information. We always like people to get information. We like them to be, because I'm an educator at heart, you know, I want people to be well informed about what they're consuming. So of course there's information about the tea. There's also gift bags, and we have some mugs. And we also have a picture so people can see actually what the ginger looks like. That is pieces of ginger coated with honey, and it's water soluble.
And you make all of this?
So no, what we do is it's our recipe. We don't have the facilities to actually do the freeze drying, so we send it out, and it's packaged and sent back, shipped back
But it's
to
your
us.
it's your formula.
Yes, absolutely.
And how long you been doing this?
We started this search for quality tea. So I said I've been to Taiwan, Thailand, all over the place.
Wow.
Some of the best tea gardens could be found in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankans grow their tea the way the rest of the world grows coffee, high elevation, the best air quality, the best soil.
Wow.
And so we've been a lot of places looking for tea, and then we found a factory that's been in existence for 40 years. So they're the ones who make our tea and send it to us.
So all the teas
I
are from
love-
Sri Lanka?
I'm sorry?
All the teas are from Sri Lanka?
No, they're from all over Asia.
All over Asia.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are incredible.
Tea blend.
Because a lot of times I buy tea bags and they're weak, I guess, for lack of a better anything. It's like just drinking a flavored
Well,
water.
There's a lot of information out right now about tea bags that we should really try to stay away from tea bags because the paper has been bleached to make it white. So there's still a lot of toxicities found in the fibers, and then we put them in our hot water. So if you're going to do tea, you should be doing loose tea.
Now, what
So-
are your teas?
Yeah, how are yours packaged?
So there's no tea bag. You're putting it
The
directly
whole
into
thing melts
water.
into hot water?
It dissolves?
It dissolves.
So you don't have any
Really?
of those floating tea?
No.
Ah,
It
that's
dissolves.
a whole different element to
That's
that
pretty
then.
cool.
You add it to water, because it's been freeze dried, it's water soluble, it dissolves in hot or cold water. Hot water immediately, cold water, you have to stir it or shake it up.
I didn't realize there was no bag in there
No
because
bag.
it was already made, so I figured it was just dissolved. Well, that's amazing because you know the loose teas you talk about all the time. Then you
These-
need the
the
scooper
stuff,
and you
yeah.
need the ball, and then it's
None of
floating
that
around.
necessary. Everything is dissolved. It dissolves. Everything can be consumed. Nothing is thrown out.
I've never seen a dissolved tea.
It's totally studio friendly,
Hey, this is the best.
right? It's entertainment friendly also. You think about parties and having guests over. You don't have you don't have drippy tea bags. You don't have loose teas. You don't have 10 balls that you need to fill with the loose teas to put in. That's amazing.
So one bag would do 1 cup? Is that the way it works?
Remember, it's concentrated, so one bag can make you 2 cups. But I do say that everybody's palate is a little bit different, so we
Really
recommend use half to 8 to 10 ounces of water and taste it. If it's too strong, add more water. Not strong enough, add more tea. Everyone needs to find their happy medium in terms of the
Well, you
strength.
get at least two cups.
2 cups,
if not
absolutely.
more. Or less, depends on how strong. I love
You
that
like
concept.
tea, but you usually drink that really strong black tea.
Yeah.
How do you like this one?
This
compared
is
to
good.
that?
This is a whole lot better. That black tea I drink is bitter. I bombard it with lemon to sort of cut the taste, but I wouldn't touch this. This is like, wow. And then it dissolves. This is Freddie's kind of mixture.
Which one you like? I guess different things for
I
different.
like them all. This one, I like them all.
The
The
date?
dark one, the date is. But this is another sipping tea. These have a lot of stuff going on as it goes down,
And they're
and-
also wonderful iced.
I'm sure.
Now for diabetics, there's no added sugar, so they're fine.
No, all of them have a little bit of sugar. For diabetics, what they usually do is add it to like a gallon. So it's really kind of dispersed.
So you got to water it down a little bit more, so you don't get too much sugar.
Correct. And it all depends on what amount of sugars are, what they do to you. But they're delicious. I gotta tell you, how long have you been doing this?
So we started to travel in 2017. By 2018, we got our first shipment, and then we incorporated in 2019.
Well, we got to get the word out on these
3
for
years,
sure.
huh?
You sell them by the box and the
Yes.
sachets.
Well, what we've been doing is that if people buy 2 or more boxes, we give them a free gift bag. And gift bag has about 20 servings, 10 satchels, 20 servings. So we've been doing that.
And how much is a box?
So the ginger and the mint is $21.99. You get about 40 servings per box. The date is $26.99.
Which is
It's
great because you
interesting.
cannot get a cup of tea for that price.
You can't find a good cup
good
of tea.
tea.
We've been trying for 7 years to bring different tea makers. I had a lady who was going to do business with us, and we gave her an order. Remember this at the radio station, and she ran away, never to be seen again. I
You said it
remember
was too
that.
big an order.
It was too big an order.
Okay, I think you might need the mint one for that one then,
For what?
for the cough.
Oh no, it's just bringing everything to
Rose,
the
these
surface.
are amazing. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing
so
this with
welcome.
us.
And she'll be at the.
You're going to be at,
Wow.
It's
I
going to
can
bring all
feel
that
it.
out. Yeah.
I can feel it bringing it out.
So our warehouse is located in off Sunrise by Sawgrass.
Oh, okay.
If you guys know where the IKEA is, our warehouse is behind the IKEA. And when people order online, that's where it's being shipped from.
wow,
So that's the fulfillment center.
very nice. Girls Night South Florida. Thank you, Elise Roberts, for sending us. Wow, this is spectacular. All right, we're going to go to commercial break before you get. This is what happens, the power of suggestion. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Rose, more with Frank Ruffolo, and Dr. Isaac Hemmer's going to Total Holistic Center. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Hi, I'm Dawn Clifford, owner and founder of Clifford Insurance Advisors. Established in November of 1999, we focus on mainly health, life, disability, Medicare, and long-term care insurance. Specifically for people aging into Medicare or the self-employed or even employee benefits for small business owners. We can be reached by phone number at 561-880-0391 or by email info@cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com. Visit our website at www.cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com and even visit Facebook, Clifford Insurance Advisors.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Delray Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelray.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey, we're back. I feel good now.
Feel better
I'm
now?
all cleared up there.
We had to go to
The
commercial
London
break.
fog has cleared.
You feel a difference?
I do.
Were you feeling better? Nice.
What does she want?
Nice. They're telling me, they want your card. Is that what you want? Your card?
Yeah.
Oh, they
me
want your
too.
credit
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that.
That all the time when I go home.
Why would you do it when I'm on the air?
Just slide it underneath.
Just slide your card underneath.
We don't wanna see this.
Brianna, nice job bringing Rose in. Thank you very much. And thank you to Elise Roberts of Girls Night South Florida. Do you do a lot of events?
Yes.
Where is your next event where people can find you? Get closer to your mic.
We just did Las Olas. We're usually at the Oceanside Market at Las Olas. We're also in Fort Pierce. That's also a green market. And we also just as a matter of fact, Saturday, we did Indie Craft, which is at Revolution Live, and they do that once a month. And we also do Plantation Market on Sunrise. So we do a lot of events.
Very nice. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And
what-
just tea, right? You don't do honeys or anything, just tea?
Just tea.
It's an amazing product. I tell you, you got to get this stuff. And you can't go wrong. Only 3 brands of tea, or you have more?
I have really 3 flavors right now. The plan is to get about 8.
Well, that really confused me.
And I think I'll be living on the ginger tea.
I'm gonna tell you the formula is very similar but different taste, if you know what I'm saying. And if you have toxins and stuff, a little cup of Duya, it's like a little dab of Duya. It comes raw if it comes coming out.
So check out tessiestea.com. Rose, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And
Thank
I
you
love
so
how we
much.
roll into this whole health and wellness center because we got Dr. Anya Temmer joining us of Total Holistic Center. Dr. Anya, you have a mic? We haven't seen her in a while since she was hosting her show. And she actually has a new location, which is right close to us on Federal Highway, on the way to the radio station. 5 months?
5 minutes to get to
Yeah,
it.
5 minutes, right? So
Perfect.
close. Your new location is beautiful.
Thank you.
And we wanted to talk a little bit about health and wellness because, contrary to what you think, she's actually been helping me get to this state that still makes you crazy. She said she can't change my
I
personality. She can
cannot
only help
change the
me balance
personality,
it out.
but I could at least keep it balanced.
Here's the thing: you get to
Doc,
my
I gotta
age.
tell you, she was better unbalanced because she's been driving people crazy around here for the last couple
no,
of
you get to my age where you've got a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old, and
You just get to the age where you don't take
That too.
anymore.
You just don't want to take a whole lot of nonsense anymore, and then
put
everyone tells you it's your
boundary-
hormones.
And that's actually healthy, Freddie. Sorry.
right. They tell you it's your hormones,
It
but yet,
depends. Maybe it's healthy for her
It's
and
healthier for
unhealthy
me.
for all 20 and
yeah,
rest
because
of
now I
us.
speak my mind. Right. That's it. My mid-50s, I go. That's it. Someone said to me the other day, Chuck went like this to me in the middle of a conversation. I go, oh no, let me finish, and then we can have the conversation. Imagine that. Yeah.
I'm not going to say nothing.
But Dr. Anya's been working with me for a really, not that long, but I've been trying to get my body regulated for a long time. And it is not easy to find a doctor that listens, a doctor that listens, and is actually willing to try and hear what you say and work with you. So I really wanted to bring her on because it can't just be me that has been going through this. And with every me, there is a spouse, there is a business partner, there are children, there are employees.
You're going through something. You admit to that?
Yes, which is why I've got 3 fans up here.
I feel like I'm in Alaska.
Well, there's one on you. I've got one.
There's an ice cube on my nose. It's so freaking cold up there.
But I've tried for a long, and I've had digestion issues, so I'm so glad that I've got the ginger here because as we age, maybe men don't, but things change in our
No,
bodies.
men don't age, Frank. We don't age.
Things change in our bodies, and no one says, "Oh, okay, it's this or it's that." You just know you don't feel great, so you start looking at teas, and you start looking because I don't really like doing pills.
And here she goes.
Different
A lot of
homeopathic
people
options.
Google things and decide, okay, that sounds good. Everyone is saying to use this, to try that supplement. But in our office, we do things more individualized. So we test, right? So we test in order to see what's going on in your particular body. So then we know which supplement, which herb, which vitamins are good for you or which hormones are good for you.
And I love that you do that because you've been working with me bit by bit, and you didn't just throw. I've been to another doctor, and she just threw stuff at me, and it was so awful. I stopped.
I don't believe that. When we get overwhelmed, we stop. Our mind, when it gets confused, doesn't want to partake in what we want to do.
And then it's not good for anyone. But you're within your practice, and we talked about this on your show, but it's been a while. You look at labs, but you don't necessarily look at labs. You look at them and say, okay, but all because my lab number may be X, you may be treating it something else, more of the symptoms versus what the lab value truly is.
Yeah, there's also different kinds of labs. So the regular labs that you get at a regular physician's, at your primary care, your specialists, those are the numbers that everyone's familiar with, cholesterol, blood sugar, your liver, your renal, all of that. We look a little bit deeper. We look at your deficiencies. We look at your toxicities. We look at your food sensitivities, things that are more of a root cause of the illness.
And you work with men and women, so this is not just
And
for
children.
women and children. And you work with a pharmacist up in Jupiter, and she's amazing.
I have a lot of so-called unofficial partners. I'm very open-minded to learning, and I'm very open-minded to create a team that's multidisciplinary, multifaceted. So when I find somebody who is very talented at certain thing, I bring them onto my team so that we could create more value for our patients.
And what I think I like the best is that you both listen. And it's crazy, and he'll say to me, caller, there's something wrong with you. So I know, I just spoke with them yesterday that we're working this out on the next month. But you know when you're off balance, but when you know and actually somebody helps you and listens and said, all right, let's tweak this, let's do that, you feel a little more validated, like, okay, I'm going to be okay. You give hope.
Yeah, I have so many people coming to us that are just so frustrated with the regular Western medical system because they go to a regular doctor for years and they keep telling them there's something wrong with my body. I know it, I feel it, I have this symptom, that symptom, and then they do regular blood work and it all comes back quote unquote normal, and the doctor tells them there's nothing wrong with you, you're all good, and sends them on their merry way. And that creates really, frustration for people. But then they come to us and we dig deeper and we see, oh, okay, so the range of those labs that was taken is the sick range. Let's look a little bit broader. So for example, blood sugar, right? They will only tell you there's something wrong with your blood sugar when you're already pretty much pre-diabetic or diabetic. We catch people when they're just on a rise, becoming insulin resistant, and that way you could still heal them. That way you could still fix the issue.
And you had sent me years ago for this whole battery of nutrition foods and things that we were looking at. So it wasn't really cholesterol, it wasn't what you normally look at, but it was a whole lot of nutrients, minerals, and then you said, well, let's look at some food. Let's look at, when you and Christine last time we were talking about that you do all the cooking, and it's for health reasons, and you feel better, but you look at really the nutritional value of what you're eating.
Right. For health reasons.
For health reasons. And so you look at these things, Anya, and she'll be like, okay, let's look at this food. So not one cookie or 3 cookies. But are we looking at different vegetables? Are we looking at different nutrients? And then you're not so quick to go, okay, here's a pill. Let's look at the root cause of things.
Yeah, because our immune system is our number one most important thing. Well, it should be, because it protects us from everything, keeps us alive. And what are the few things that throw immune system off is number one, deficiency. We're all walking around eating foods that are not the best quality, even if they're organic. Unfortunately, to be, bearer of bad news, they don't have all the proper nutrients and they still have chemicals on them. So micronutrient deficiency is number one cause. Number two is toxicity. We all live in this toxic soup, breathing the air, the water, drinking the water, eating that food. We all, unfortunately, are filled with toxins. In Florida, number one thing is mold. We don't even know, but most of us here probably have mold overgrowth in our body.
Nice.
And number three is food sensitivities that cause inflammation. And all of that affects immune system, and then we can function fully.
Well, anxiety right now is at an all-time high. Do you think some of the foods we're eating is increasing our anxiety, lack of focus through inflammation?
100%, because our gut it's like our second brain. It actually creates little particles that are called neurotransmitters that create our emotion. And when our gut is affected by toxins, by constant use of antibiotics, by deficiencies, it doesn't function well. That creates mood disturbances, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all of that, and inflammation, chronic pain in the body.
All right, I'll look at my food sensitivities later. I can't imagine what I could eat that's different, but yes.
The funny thing is that as you age, if you go from 10 to 60, you're not the same person.
No?
Your body doesn't react the same way every month, every minute of the day. It changes. So you sort of have to understand yourself and the changes that are going to be. There are certain things you could have ate maybe last year that is going to be harder to digest this year. My father used to tell me that water tasted different for him at 50 than 60. And I said, Dad, it's water. What are you talking about? He says, I'm telling you, it tastes different. Things change. Your taste buds, your throat, your whatever. So whatever's going on with you, it's going to change. And if you're taking medication for it, it's going to change again and again and again. So you're going to have to adapt to change. You see, you're not a good adapter of change.
You're actually 100% correct about your whole body basically being anew, because your old cells die and the new cells repeat themselves. But the issue is that unfortunately, as we age, the new cells doesn't become as strong, as healthy, as potent as the old ones. And the process which creates that is actually stem cell regeneration. And this is one of the topics that I'm so passionate right now about, because I've been really digging into that research. It's been available for like 40 years. But first for politicians, stars, athletes, they were taking part of that stem cell therapy, for example, regenerative therapy. Now finally it's available to us, regular human beings.
Stem cell has been around a long time. 7 years ago, we weren't even allowed to talk about it on the air. I got to introduce a guy 5 years ago or 6 years ago who did stem cells of the eye, and he was blackmailed out of the business because something happened. And it's his story to tell. But that growth, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't drink or eat the right things, it doesn't matter what anybody does for you. If you smoke cigarettes, it doesn't matter what anybody does for you. I'm not saying you don't have to, you can or you want. There are certain things in life that we like to do. We like to party late. We like to have a steak that has fat in it. We like to do these things, but these things are detrimental to our body. So the big warning sign, whatever changes are going to occur, whether it's with doc or your other docs or your 100 docs, See, this is one of the reasons I go see a doc. I wave at Dr. Hair.
That's why you don't go to the doctor.
I don't go to him because every time I go to the doctor, there's something wrong with me. No kidding, Doc.
But
That's
what
why I don't come see you,
But what
because
I
there's something
love
wrong
about
with
going
me.
to Dr. Temmer, and we do a lot of this virtually, is you don't give me a pill, and then I go, well, I feel this, well, here's another pill. There's so much going on right now in traditional medicine where we're very pharmacological happy. And we give a pill and then another pill. And I look at my parents and the amount of pills that they have. Well, this doctor gave me this pill and this another pill. That, for me, that's not my approach to life. So it might take me a little bit longer to get where I need to get through
5
foods,
pills?
through teas.
And 5 pills to combat these pills?
But
and
I
then
won't.
another 5
See,
pills
that's
to
not
combat
something- right.
those pills.
I'd rather try the teas and work with my stomach through ginger and work through some natural things. But I want to touch on hormone therapy. There's a lot of misnomers out there on bioidenticals and hormone therapy for men and women, because there's a lot, men are having hormone replacement also.
Yes.
Increase in cancers, shouldn't do it. This is what caused my mother to die. All of these things that people throw at you. True or not true?
There has to be a very smart and intelligent way of doing things. And
Okay.
yes, absolutely, there could be harm and risk if done in the wrong way, uneducated. And most important thing is to realize that hormones are symptoms. Hormones are not the cause of issues. And that's where I think Western medicine and our society in general misunderstands it. Hormones don't cause cancer. There's something else underlying in our immune system. Our immune system's job is to actually find cancer cells and kill them off and get rid of them. So if there's something going on in our body that's either too much toxins, or once again, not enough nutrition, or our thoughts are not on the right path, and it causes the cancers and it causes the changes in hormones. So yes, if you do to answer your question, if you do the hormone replacement therapy in the wrong way, yes, it could cause harm. But most important is to look systematically at your body to realize what else is going on that could cause potential harm and work from the root cause up.
By looking at the root cause, it's through those other nutrient testings that you're looking at?
Yeah. Nutrients, toxins, immune issues, inflammatory markers, all of that.
And we can work on all of this, not necessarily with medication, but through food.
Yes, I do pretty much everything through nutrients, regenerative therapies, supplements, and nutritional guidance.
Which is amazing.
That's also the name of the game in diabetes now. It's all about the foods. It's about the wrong foods versus the right foods. The amount of foods. I never knew that intake of foods makes a big difference. If you ask your body to eat an elephant, it's going to have a harder time than if you ask your body to eat a regular normal human being size of. And most diabetics, listen, I can say it because I'm one, most diabetics eat like elephants. We like food, and here it comes. And wash it down with more food.
But it's the chicken and the egg, because what is causing you to want more food? When you're insulin resistant, you actually have less hormones of satiety. So you actually want more food because your blood sugars keep jumping up and down. If we work on the nutrition to stabilize your blood sugar a little bit in your blood, you're not going to be as hungry, and you're actually going to look at food and you're not going to want to eat the elephant-sized meal.
Well, you're right, because all of a sudden I'm eating more avocados. Now in Puerto Rico, when I was a kid, I had an avocado plantation. I smell an avocado and I sneeze, but I've gone back to it. Avocado toast. You had that, right? So all of a sudden I'm having that avocado I had on Friday. I ate a lot of it. And for some reason, it takes away that I want to go eat like a maniac deal. And
It stabilizes your blood sugar, the fats in avocado, absolutely.
So she's right on that. But then there's the other thing about wanting.
I know
Right on
something.
that.
No,
Good.
because sometimes you want to eat. You don't want to eat avocado. You know, you want to get something.
There's
you
a lot of
shouldn't
other
eat.
options, Freddie.
Or you just don't have it available. So the key, I think, is food prep. I think these teas are a great option.
I
So
love
when you're
teas.
hungry, you're not grabbing a cookie. You can easily make a cup of tea hot
You
or
always
cold.
got to go to the cookie.
Because I am one of those quick people to grab a cookie or a rice cake. Alana said, is there anything on that rice cake?
No, rice cake, no good.
No, but it's because they want something. You got to find
Put
something.
some
So it's
honey
making
on it.
choices. It's just about making choices. But you offered hope, and I want to thank you and Sinette for doing that, and you guys working with me. And I wanted to share that with other women, because there's a lot of women that haven't been able to find the right doctor or combination, so they give up, and they're miserable, and their spouse is miserable because they're
The
miserable.
hormones you're talking about?
Their kids are miserable, either hormones
employ-
or food.
Co-workers.
I'm gonna tell you,
Coworkers, everybody.
hormones and 92-degree weather just don't work.
102. No, they
Ju-
don't.
Hot weather and hormones, you cannot mix that up. There's no Orchard Beach here to hang out at. There is nothing here to take. Even the water's hot.
Even when you
Even the
don't,
sand is hot.
but she even helps me sleep now, so I sleep better. So it's a huge difference.
How important it is to sleep well. Everything, your emotional state, everything
You
is
should
affected
be
by sleep.
calmer if you're
I
sleeping.
am
well.
calm.
Oh, you should see her without me.
Or you should see her 7 years without. It's like, wow.
But it can't just be me, so I wanted Dr. Anya to come on and share that she's here to help men and women. How about kids?
Yeah, so we work with children. Unfortunately, I get to see the most complicated cases and chronic cases of children, but I see once again, same thing, because we put them through rigorous testing as well. And oh my goodness, even tiny little children are filled with toxins. They have food sensitivities. They have a lot of deficiencies. And once we start working on that, all of a sudden, even the most complicated, difficult cases improve.
We have a friend that you told me, she came in one day and she thought she had COVID, so she didn't come back. Then she told us she had shingles. She didn't come back. Then she told us she was diagnosed with, oh my gosh, something that has been eradicated. It wasn't small, it was,
I know what you're talking about. It was mold.
but it ended up being mold.
Yep.
And there's more mold in
I
Florida than
probably
anywhere in
see
the country.
90% of people who test for mold positive in Florida. It's crazy.
Covered in a rash everywhere for weeks. And we knew at that point that it wasn't anything that was contagious because no one else was getting sick, and she kept getting misdiagnosed and misdiagnosed.
But what people don't realize about mold, so a lot of houses in Florida get mold. You could see it somewhere, or you test, and all of a sudden you see it, and you fix the environment. You fix the house, you know, you get the mold remediation, you think you're done. Unfortunately, people don't realize once the mold spores get inside your body, they stay there unless we detox them properly. And when they stay there, that's the kind of issues it causes. More kind of like vague, chronic, you know, headaches, fatigue, rashes, just weird things that regular Western medicine doesn't usually pick up.
Measles is what she thought. So how do you eradicate mold from your body? How do you detoxify
There's
that?
special detox. You have to kill off the mold gets encapsulated, so you have to break off the encapsulation. You have to let it out of there. You have to get it through your detox pathways, your sweating, your liver, all of that. So
liver
there's
cleanse.
special detoxes for
Well,
that.
she's coming in on the 10th, so we're going to send her over to you because she says it's embedded in her lungs.
Yep.
And that's where it's
She
coming
thought she had measles. So, I mean, she just kept getting diagnosed with the wrong thing, and it ended up being mold.
I see
Wow.
it so
They
often.
kept missing it. They kept trying to figure it. Now she went to Canada, had the whole house demodulated, and now she's coming back. I
But
think
now
at
we
the
need to
10th.
do the same with her body.
Well, she knows it because she says it's in her lungs, and the doctors told her. It was I think it was Canadian doctors that told her, not U.S. doctors that told her it was mold. We gotta ask when she comes in. It's gonna be
Unfortunately, I see that a lot. That United States kind of lagging in the medicine department, unfortunately, over years. So Europe is far ahead. I have a couple of cancer patients that are getting much better therapy in Europe than they ever got here. So yeah, you got to look for practitioners who are really up to date with new research, because there's actually a study recently that showed there's 17-year gap between a research that's coming out on the market and physicians actually knowing about it and implementing it. 17 years.
Wow.
So you have to really follow people and practitioners who are really up to date, committed to brand new information.
Tell us how people can reach you.
They could find us at totalholisticcenter.com or call us at 561-323-4994.
Wow. And she listens. So that, if anything else, you'll have a friendly ear and someone who actually understands and listens. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Commercial break, top
Commercial
of the
break,
hour.
top of
We've
the
got our financial planner advisor in the house.
Very cool.
Second stage in life. Pleasure to meet you. Stay tuned. Rose, thank you. Dr. Temmer, amazing. Frank, hang with us when we get back from the commercial break. And we'll be right back.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day. Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40-plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come on down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call SmartFares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. SmartFares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, SmartFares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available, so don't wait. Call SmartFares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 855-828-0198. That's 855-828-0198. 855-828-0198.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
The United States has accused Beijing of provocative and irresponsible actions after Taiwan said China rehearsed an attack on the island.
So what we're hearing from Taiwan's defense ministry today is that it believes the last 4 days of Chinese military drills around the island have in effect been a dry run for a future invasion. And interestingly, we've also heard from the People's Liberation Army Eastern Command in China, who've released a statement effectively saying almost exactly the same thing.
Israeli jets again pounded the Gaza Strip on Saturday, flattening multiple residential buildings and killing more Palestinians in its second day of airstrikes.
Panic gripped Gaza as buildings burned. Ambulances rushed the injured to hospital after Israeli air raids hit targets in the Palestinian territory. Israel released video of the strikes, announcing they had killed their main mark, a senior commander of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad.
A massive fire at a crude oil storage facility in Cuba was sparked by a lightning strike on Friday and has led to dozens of injuries, authorities said Saturday.
Cuba's president, seen on state-run television, getting an update on the injured. The video of the injured is hard to watch. This man says after the explosion, they had to leave. Even the truck he was in caught fire.
12 people have been killed after a bus carrying Polish pilgrims veered off a road in Croatia on Saturday and ended up in a ditch.
The victims were all pilgrims, mainly from Radom and Sokolo in Masovian province, which is also home to the Polish capital, Warsaw. Poland's Justice Minister and Prosecutor General has now ordered the Warsaw Prosecution's Office to launch an investigation into the cause of the tragedy.
This is the latest news headlines. A former dean at a Boston high school known affectionately by students as Rev has been ordered by a federal judge to pay more than $10 million in damages to a former student he was convicted of trying to kill in a dispute over drug sales. The default judgment Friday against former English high school dean Sean Harrison includes $7.5 million in damages for pain, suffering, and emotional distress, $2.5 million in punitive damages, and more than $80,000 for the victim's medical bills. As Eastern Kentuckians continue to search for missing loved ones, muck out their homes, and prepare for more rain, they are beginning to ask who could be at fault for the deadly flooding and whether it was a natural disaster or one caused by the coal mines that have drastically reshaped and scarred the landscape. Lawyers who have been pursuing these cases in the past said it's still too early to pursue a case in the most recent flooding, as studies need to be conducted and claimants contacted. President Joe Biden tested negative for COVID Sunday, but will continue to isolate until he tests negative for a second time, his doctor said in a letter. The president continues to feel very well, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, the White House physician, wrote a week after Biden tested positive in a rebound case of COVID. He will continue with strict isolation measures pending a second negative test, as previously described, O'Connor added. Elon Musk on Saturday challenged Twitter Incorporated's chief executive officer to a public debate about the percentage of bots on the social media platform. Let him prove to the public that Twitter has less than 5% fake or spam daily users, Musk said in a tweet. Twitter on Thursday dismissed a claim by Musk that he was hoodwinked into signing the $44 billion agreement to buy the company. And that's the latest news headlines. I'm Alan Edwards.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Watching from Maui.
Yes.
Timothy Hall. Hi, Timothy. I've never been to Maui, so got to find out all about that. You've been?
Yes.
Wasn't that where you went up in the helicopter?
Yes.
Is that Maui?
I don't know what island it was, but yes. And then, a helicopter is done by weight. So I was the biggest guy there, and the guy says, "I'm sorry, we can't put you on the helicopter." And I said, "Why?" I said, "How old is this helicopter? World War I?" So I got angry, and so he talked to somebody, and somebody talked to somebody. So they put me in the middle of the helicopter with two people on my side and two people in the front. And the helicopter went, and they told me, don't go like this. I said, really?
How much did you weigh?
I don't know. More than that.
Really?
Yeah. And there was a glass bottom helicopter.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there now that they told me all this news, and I'm scared to death that I'm going to bring this helicopter down. So he goes, I think it might have been Maui. It's where they did Jurassic Park.
Now you saw that this weekend.
I saw that this weekend, and not a good movie. And they go, and the guy goes, and this is for Freddie. And he goes down. And I went, I shrunk. If I was a big guy, I was a little guy by the time that one finished.
Oh my gosh.
And he took, my heart came out, and then he stopped it, and then helicopter's a great
I've never
travel.
been on one.
I would never go on one again. And there was glass bottom, and I just saw the ocean coming at us. I went, ugh.
Nice Monday, nice way to get our week started. You see our Spirit Life TV rolling behind us. That's a new channel that's coming out on the cafe. I'm actually going to post our first show on that YouTube channel today at 3 o'clock.
Yes, I was going to put this one on, but I figured you had an opening for it. So I left it alone.
Today's show? We can still put today's show on, but I'm going to put on Sally's show, which is starting today. Call Me Zena. Today at 3 o'clock is a new show on our Spirit Life TV. And it talks about her journey, her adventurous journey into spirituality and how she's astro projecting into different places. And she's here to answer questions that anyone might have. She talks to past lives. She's a type of medium, but also understands why we're here. And she gets all of her messages from the collective, she calls it, from the collective of above. And Rose is going to be joining her to hold the energy space for her so she can answer the questions. But she hears from the collective. It's interesting how different people call it different things.
I know, because the
She
next
calls
guest
it a
calls
collective.
it something different.
And Frank, we've got Frank here joining us. Our Summer Book Club series, I think we've got that piece. So before we introduce Frank, let's see if they can roll it. This is our book club piece.
The Brooklyn Cafe Show would like to invite you to join our summer reading club here at Ant Media Productions. For more information, visit www.frankarufolo.com or Frank Ruffolo on Amazon.com.
And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. And he gets his writing channeled from Archangel Uriel, correct?
Angel Uriel, my muse.
His muse.
Now, you get some messages from him because you write things, or is everything written through his?
I get messages from the voices in my head. So Uriel is my main muse, and whatever comes to my head, that's what I put down on the paper.
Does it always make sense to you?
At first, no. But then it evens out.
And it shows you a picture of where it's going to go afterwards.
And it shows me a picture of where it's going.
So you're writing a new book based on what? Tell us about the new book.
I wrote a sci-fi series, and I ended it with a cliffhanger. And I've had readers tell me, you need to tell us where this cliffhanger is going. You need to write the next chapter in this series. So I started writing that book. That book is called Samael of Sarah.
And how does your better half over there feel about having to edit a new book?
She probably has no comment. She's
I'm looking at her.
now.
I see no comments coming
Right now.
from that side of the theater.
Right now, she's got 5 lined up, so
Yeah,
now
so
she's got 6.
So you line them up that way. So this has to wait until those 5 are edited.
They have to. It has to take its point in line.
Wow, that's amazing. And you also have some books that were sent to California to do a movie. We have an update on that yet?
No update.
No
Still
update.
in process.
And you brought in some drawings because you started showing them until we started having to work with cameras. You brought some drawings with you.
Yeah.
That you did.
That I did.
And I'm a little bit curious as to why, how, and when on the drawings.
That's just something I picked up. I don't know. Call me a Renaissance man? I don't know. Just something I picked up. I started
So are
drawing.
you an artist?
No.
Get your mic a little closer.
Oh, no. I'm
So
not
you're
an artist.
not an artist?
No.
But
I've
I
never
looked
been
at-
trained as an artist.
But I looked at your pieces and they seem to be coming in an art form.
They are. I can't explain that. There's something that just, maybe I've got a natural ability I can't explain.
So that's kind of what happened to Sally.
You haven't seen the pieces. All right, I
He
want
showed
you.
some of them.
I want you to take something out there because I know people that sing, and they're not singers when they get into this whole thing.
Right.
I know people like this. Now you made this, right?
Yep, Frank drew that.
Okay.
Do
So
you know this little boy?
who is
No.
that, Frank?
That was a picture I found in an encyclopedia,
And you copied it.
and I put it on paper.
And you are not an artist, but you can.
No,
do
I'm
these
not an
things.
artist.
Now, was there a reason you think that you did this? Is it?
It's something that caught my eye. Can I get it right here? There you go. Something that caught my eye, and this way.
And what did you use to make this? What kind of?
This is pencil. All pencil.
Is that amazing?
When did you do that?
Wow. In the 70s.
In the 70s. Wow.
And you never became an artist, even though you can draw.
Never became an artist.
Does
That's amazing.
Does that look
That's
like
what-
a human face on it?
I also do ink, drawings, inspirational. See if I can find one.
Today is the day of manifestation. Frank, when's your birthday?
January 19.
The Capricorn?
Pen and ink.
And I need to ask you, when you draw, Frank, is there a reason you do it or you just do it?
I just do it.
And none of this has any significance to it?
No.
Unlike your books.
Unlike
That-
my book. This
and
is
the-
just inspiration.
And the books that you write have a common theme that seem to come out in the future, correct?
Some of the things that I write tend to become true.
Tend
You can
to
believe
become
that.
True, yes. Well, Josh was reading a book about Mars, and we were talking about the COVID and the pandemic, and he's shaking his head. He goes, "Yes." And you talked about two plagues, I guess, two viruses that attacked people.
Right, in my first book of that series, which is the end times. It's the months leading up to Judgment Day. Of course, there's going to be plagues and earthquakes and terrors and stuff. I talk about two plagues in that book, and it almost mimics what's going on today.
Well, the funny thing is that I just read that NASA now is going to put their energies towards going to Mars. Seems like the race now, it used to be the moon, and now it's Mars. Because everybody wants to live on Mars. They think that will hold life the way we know it, anyway.
Right, NASA and Elon are both going to Mars.
So everybody's on their way to making it so you can get there. So, and again, I mean, if you believe in coincidence, we talked about it, and all of a sudden, a couple of days later, it comes out. I know about it because Gio works for NASA, and he was telling me, yeah, that's the new groove. And the moon is now passé. They want to go past the moon.
Because they talk about life forms in other places, and Sally just walked in, and we're going to be talking about all of that spiritual and where everything is coming from. But she was never an artist. Frank was never an artist or an author, but yet here they both sit, inspired by the greater universe.
Well, it's funny because life, the way I look at it, it's about tendencies. You know, if you have a tendency of doing this, you can defend better. You can be, I mean, it's in sports, right? You learn tendencies. And the more of a tendency that you have in writing a book, and all of a sudden he has this following over and over that things continue to occur, there's got to be a reason for it. You can't have 15 coincidences. It makes no sense.
It must be just karma, what life gives you. It's amazing how I can write something 4 or 5 years ago and it comes true.
Well, that's more than amazing.
She's shaking her head.
That's more than amazing. It's an art to do that. I'm still waiting to see how the pictures that you drew, 30 years ago, come into play on this thing, because I don't see any bubbles on anything he does. You know, like he just did it. To me, that doesn't exist. But it'll have a significance. How do people get your books, Frank?
Best way to get my books would be Amazon. You can just search my name on Amazon, and I have my own page, Frank A. Ruffolo. You can contact me by, you want an autographed book, you can contact me by email, which would be my name, frankaruffolo@gmail.com. And I offer books. I can send them to you directly by email, by, post office. I do have occasional book signings across Broward County, so you can catch me there too.
And this is our summer book club. This is our book, Destrucción de la Rocha.
Yes. Oh, you got it.
Not as well as Frank says it, but yes.
And
Destruction of the Rock.
And when I picked this up, the Pope had started doing his tour in Canada and everything else at the time that I picked up that book. I don't know where he is now.
The Pope?
Yeah. But there's a lot of adventures that come, with the Pope and different things of that nature. And the 5 books that you have in the can are what? Are they sequels to other books? Are they parts or independents?
4 are extensions of my Jack Stenhouse mystery series. 1 is a historical fiction, and 1 is the next to end the story of my sci-fi.
End of the sci-fi.
End that story.
See what the next one has to show. We had a singer in last week, and she has a song about human trafficking that so I told her that I want to make the introduction, because when your book becomes a screenplay, then it would be kind of cool.
Yep.
She could have the song for the book, for the movie. You want to go to commercial break, or are you going to take me out? Stop it.
Commercial break. What's the matter? You going to quote? Mm-hmm. It ain't me. It ain't only me.
Well, people can get Frank's books, all of them, but the human trafficking book seems to come up over and over again, that story. Every time I look, I already gave that one away, and I tell people they have to go to your website to buy it.
Good.
Which is amazing. This is our summer book club series, and more to come.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with Frank and some other guests.
We got John Browning in the house, and everyone can meet Sally. More to come. We'll be right back.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or 2. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now.
Call 800-651-4808.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got covered with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW, and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to arwhome.com now.
Call 877-281-0289.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Nice. I might just have one change where it says artist and author, pop up the book where it says author instead of another painting. Just flip where they pop up. Editing on the spot. Nice job. These are all for you. You're going to love it.
Good stuff.
Love it. All right, we've got our new friend John Browning joining us all the way from Palm Beach. We got a little bit distracted in our schedule last week, but he was gracious enough to come down to the studio today.
Excellent.
You loved everything he had to say about financial planning for later in life. We can start planning early, but now it's about planning for the common folk, not only corporate America, not only those that have. What I have found is those that have, John, have more. And those that don't,
have less.
Don't. And the greater divide seems to be dividing. And the thing with my house, I really have noticed that. Those that have and those that can reinvest and flip houses and put money into flip it, and they're making money. Then there are other people that are waiting for every gas gallon to go down 10 cents because that makes a big difference. It seems like COVID had a great divide and now it's even a greater divide. Can you help us? Can you help people plan for the future even if we're not of the haves?
You know what? Yes, is the quick answer. The longer answer is that it becomes a mentality. It's where you are mentally, and do you feel? Are you ready to take the next step to start planning? And it doesn't happen overnight. So this idea that the haves always had, I find is generally not the truth. Unless you're a trust fund baby or something like that, and your parents gave you $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, it didn't come that quick. It's like Michael Jordan didn't become an overnight success. He spent a ton of time practicing on the court and was actually rejected. If you really look into his story, he wasn't always a great basketball player. You have to take the time and be willing to put in the work to become a have.
And can you invest, I guess at this point, if you're looking at it, retirement in 5 to 6 years is kind of the sweet spot of where you're looking for people?
That's generally where most of my clients are. It doesn't mean that I can't help somebody who's just starting out. I actually really enjoy that. but generally speaking, where I can make the biggest difference is, right around that 5-6 years away from retirement, we can make sometimes just an enormous difference. And usually it has to do with things that people are doing or not doing, that when they hear about them, because they just don't think about these things. They're a great lawyer, teacher, artist. They're great at what they do, but they're not constantly thinking about, how can I mitigate my taxes? How can I reduce my risk? How can I invest in a way that is towards the future rather than what was yesterday or right now?
And that makes the big difference. When you were in the financial scope,
I helped everybody but myself.
But you were on the aggressive path. You were a lot younger.
Always been on the aggressive path.
Different strategies, different times.
Different times, and that can change. But today is even more challenging because there are things that people tell you work and they don't work, and everybody has a different palette for it, and things change on the swing. And I think that the beginning of it, John, is that you have to sort of tell yourself that you're ready for something that can advance you. And where there's good, there's bad. Where there's the yin, there's the yang. But what I like about him is that he has Wall Street experience.
Right.
He has that top experience. So there isn't any horror story you're going to give him that he hasn't heard already at a high intense level. And I'm beginning to find out and figure out that even sports, guys in the sports world, there's two different breeds. There are guys that understand sports and there are guys that play sports. And that's what I see when I see John, is the guy who understands it, not just plays it. So there's a lot of changes going on right now. You know, I look at Frank's book and I look at the tea lady, and for me, that makes sense. Having a book, tea, conversation, and listening about different things that are going on right now in her world, in a circle. And that clears my mind to meet John, because I am aggressive. I do take chances. We're working on a television station right now. I mean, who does that? And I am aggressive, but there's aggressive, and then there's, whoa, take it easy aggressive, right? Because you can get a little carried away if you have a little taste of success. So I think that what I like about John is that he gives you that home run ball, the ability to do that, or tame it down and just sustain yourself, correct?
That's exactly right. You can be aggressive, right? But and that can put you ahead of the game if you are able to sleep at night. If you're not able to sleep at night, then tame it down a little bit, and you can still invest in a way that gets you where you want to go based on what you define as your best life. And what I just did a podcast earlier today where we talked about we did the analogy of like when you need to lose a little bit of weight, which arguably I could stand to lose a little bit of weight. But what it is, it's all about portion control. It's not about just, I'm going to stop eating tomorrow and then I'm going to lose weight. You know, that's a tactic that you can use, but then typically that doesn't work out so well. It's not a very healthy thing to do. The same thing goes when you want to be aggressive. It's all about portion control. You don't invest 50% of your portfolio into XYZ stock or NFT or something like that. You invest what is right for you in the right proportion. So in other words, if you had a very aggressive stance, I really think this particular company is going to be fantastic. Well, 1%, 2% of your portfolio, if you're wrong, then it's not going to hurt you so bad. If you're right, you still get to make a decent amount of money on the upside, right? So it's about that portion control and what's right for you versus what's right for somebody else.
It's balancing. And what we liked so much about John when we spoke last week was the trust factor for our demographic versus, say, someone in their 30s that are in financial planning. You've put 6 kids through college. You have grandchildren. You've walked the walk. You understand what it takes to do it on the front end, what it took to get your kids through college, what you're looking at now as a grandfather on that side,
right.
And now how you balance that in moving into retirement. It's the trust factor for our viewers and listeners as a demographic that's different for them, because they may resonate more with someone your son's age.
Correct.
But for us and what we're looking at 5-6 years, I don't know if you're ever going to retire.
Probably not.
Probably not. But it's a nice thought. Now, Frank, you retired how many years ago? Officially retired.
2010.
So it's been a while. Did you look at different income strategies or portfolios when you said, I'm just not going to do this anymore?
No, we have a financial advisor, so we have a diversified portfolio.
So you knew at the time you had to look at that and say, make that financial decision.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone needs to do is you look at it and say, what can you do, what can't you do?
Well, there's also different ways that you can establish diversification. Having a business that you leave, like my father did that. My father didn't understand, but then he understood. And he left me a business. And I thought that my father made small money until the year came and it was almost $800,000. And you can't hide an elephant under a rug. And I said to him, what am I going to do? I got to report to the IRS. And then I had my own nice job going, my gig with the properties. And I didn't listen to my financial plan. That's what made me switch over to somebody like John. Because I thought, you know, it's funny, when you're 30 and 40, everybody thinks that they are the wise men. Everybody's their own financial planner. And they're not. You make a lot of mistakes when it goes along. So that happens. So it's nice when you have all that prep. I know that you and Chuck have done that, your dad, everybody's doing their thing.
Yeah, but there are stages in life when you don't have, and you figure out, like selling my house. I had to sell my house last year because we have a wedding coming up, and there are things that we had to make some financial changes on. And you know, it was a difficult situation.
But that was a
for me.
good move.
But it was a good financial move. And I think when you have, say, John, and he's doing what he does, and says, all right, take the emotions out of this.
Put it on him?
No, like you said to me, if you can make X, take the emotions out of your children growing up in this house and make it a business move.
Well, that's a different. I own so many properties in my life that I'm not married to any. They're all just the thing.
But people are looking at different things. Student loans right now are crazy. College, what we're looking at. But in those last 5 to 6 years before retirement, how much can you really change in a short period of time to make that difference, to say, all right, I'm done?
Well, there's a lot that you can do. One of the things that I think confuses some people, and maybe they just don't know, and so they don't do it, is what do your cash flows look like in retirement? 5 to 6 years out, you can make significant changes into how your cash flows occur once you retire that can mitigate your tax position as you withdraw those funds. It matters what account you're withdrawing from to fund your retirement and when. And it's different for everyone. So that's just one of the things that you can do. You know, there are others. You can get more conservative, or if you're way behind the eight ball, say you didn't do the planning before and you didn't get started until late, maybe you do need to take a more aggressive stance. But then, can you sleep at night? Yeah, and that's all of this factors into it. That's why I can't give personal investment advice, on a channel like this. But together, one-on-one, we can put all those puzzle pieces together to find out what's right for you. And yes, you can make a big difference within 5 and 6 years out. It gets really tough when they call me and said, I just retired last week. What do I do? That's a little tougher situation, and I have had some of those situations come up, and we do what we can. But by then, a lot of the decisions have already been made, and it's tough to change things. The trajectory is somewhat set.
The old theory, cash is king, right? You used to put cash under your mattress or in a box, whatever you did, because you always had the cash.
Well, that's a real problem right now, because the value of that cash, arguably over the last year, right now we're running at 10% inflation. It's double-digit reduction in the value and the purchasing power of that cash that you put in your mattress. So this is where, the big banks, they kind of lie to you, right? It feels really good. I had $100,000 in the bank at the beginning of 2022. That right now is actually worth about, say, $90,000 as far as what you can actually buy with it. And of course, the more gasoline that you need, depending on if you're driving a lot, or the more food that you need if you've got a big family, those things have actually increased much more than 10%. So the idea that cash is king is true, but only to a point. And that's where all the different angles and the ways of looking at things and understanding the market and the economy, and just having done it for 30 years on Wall Street, that's where that type of thing helps me give you in your personal situation the best advice.
Is there a percentage, that you should have in cash? So if you have $100,000, you probably don't need it, right? Is there a percentage of what you make or your months out that you should keep in cash and the rest say, let's invest it in something?
So in my opinion, and it varies between different financial advisors, and it's also very different depending on who you are and what makes you sleep at night, but 3 to 6 months in cash is really what I think is the maximum you should keep. I think any more than that, there's a whole different kind of risk, and that's that inflation risk, and what are you losing in your purchasing power. And as long as you're currently making money and you're employed and money's coming in, 3 to 6 months generally is fine. If you're a little bit more conservative, you keep it with that 6 months.
The concept, John, of buying right. So if you're $100,000 and it's worth $90,000, then you're going to have to do something maybe physically to save some money, growing, getting that $10,000 back, maybe using your car less, maybe eating less. There's going to be some changes, even though people say, well, I don't want to change. I want to be doing what I was always doing. But I think that it's come to a point right now that you're going to have to do some changes in your regular life to accommodate maybe that $10,000 spillover until you can get some of that back, saving on gas, buying right. Don't eat at $200 a night restaurants. Maybe eating at home more. Maybe reading a book and doing things, changing some of the programming until this whole recession, no recession deal. Gas is coming down. It's at $3.56 if you go to Costco. It is coming down. But is that a good strategy?
Absolutely, and I think that we get into our habits and into our ruts, right? And it's hard to come back up out of that rut.
Yeah.
But the earlier and the sooner that you do that in an inflationary environment, particularly, or in an environment where you realize when you go back and you actually do some planning and you realize, wait a second, I'm spending as much or maybe I'm spending more than I'm bringing in, you have to get up out of that rut and you have to make some decisions. And we have talked with individuals who are making a very good salary, and suddenly they find out when they really actually look, I don't have to do a budget because I make a lot of money. Well, let me tell you, it can really help you if you do a budget and you find out, oh wow, I'm spending more money I'm taking in. No wonder my credit card bills are going up. No wonder I'm struggling. And there's some really simple things, simply switching the store that you make your everyday purchases at, things like that. And that's some of the fun things that I do as well. I tell people about things that they may not know about. It's not that you have to suddenly start eating less healthy or suddenly start not having any fun at all. I know I can't eat ice cream every single night, but I can have ice cream maybe, once a month, right? So it's not about denying yourself, because that never works long term. But there are things that you can do to adjust to this new inflationary environment we find ourselves in.
Well, to use an example, ice cream. If you go every night, because I used to like to go hang out in the corner over there in Clipmore, and I used to like to get a Servy, Swervy, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And it costs you $15 or $11 to get 2 of those bad boys, right? So now I go to Publix and I pick up a Napoleon, remember? Chocolate, strawberry. And that one serving is all I give myself. And I wait a few days. That one container will serve me 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that's buying right. That's making a change. I know that people want to go out and do something, a little this and a little that. But right now, until this market sort of evens out wherever it's going, or wherever the hell is going on, and there are countries right now that are, I don't know what is going on out there between the Chinese and the this and the that. All of these things have effects of your portfolio. Whether you're going to get there or you are there, there's all these changes you want to do.
Do you think the price of goods will come down the sizing of portions will go back up, or do you think we've become corporate America can just mandate what they so choose?
So there's a really big debate out there on wool prices. Is this inflation transitory? If anybody's ever heard that on the news, I think Janet Yellen is still using the word transitory inflation. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think it is transitory. I think that we are in an inflationary environment for a while, but it's what's your inflation?
Thank you.
Because if you are extremely wealthy and you're buying, say, Tesla, and you're buying really nice things, and you can afford to buy like robots for your house. So, actually that inflation is going to come down. You're going to be able to get more utility out of the things that you're buying if you're very wealthy. On the flip side, if you're middle income or you're lower level of income, fixed income, maybe if you're retired, the cost of things like food, gasoline, fuel, that type of thing, that's going to continue to rise, I believe. And I think probably the biggest issue that we face currently is a food crisis. We don't see it here in the United States because we can still go to the grocery store. But as we continue with the war in Ukraine, all the stuff that's going on over in China with Taiwan, everything else, you got to remember who produces the food. Ukraine and Russia produce the food for Europe. Russia's not sharing, Ukraine can't, and a lot of that farm equipment is being destroyed. They didn't plant. They couldn't plant. So where's that food come from? Well, it comes from the United States, Canada, South America, and suddenly this area begins to supply everything for the entire world. And then, we could go on about this all day, but I don't see food inflation coming down for a multitude of reasons. So from an investing standpoint and just a real people standpoint, number one, plan for a bigger portion of your budget going towards food. And number two, if you're an investor, what companies benefit most from an inflationary environment for food? And that's where you get to the point where, I'm scared of the entire market, I pull it out, go into cash. There's always opportunities in whatever market you're in. I've learned that over 30 years.
You just got to find somebody who either knows it and tells you about it, or you got to do your homework. You got to get in touch with people that are, they have the finger on the pulse. You make fun of me, but I go to certain places and I flip out that AARP card, I get 15% off.
I think it's great that you do that.
I get gas coupons from AARP. Now, I don't care. I went from $4.50 or $4.80 down to $4.25 because of the stuff they gave me now with $3.56. And I'm trying to buy right. I'm trying to get that money that I lost because of inflation back. I'm trying to eat smarter, less, finding places. I go to Aldi's because it's cheaper. And I shouldn't say this because not everybody's going to go there. And that's where everybody falls, is where everything goes up. The Tesla. You're going to buy a Tesla today? No. So that car is going to be cheaper today, right? But a normal car is going to be more expensive because I heard that they got a few boatloads of cars into the country. You seen the commercials? We just got cars. Come on down. Get a car. Everybody get a car.
A lot of things to consider. And I think government and big corporate America, they control so much more but we're at the mercy of what it is.
I think the game has been exposed. I think that the problem now is that now we look at how much we spend on gas. You ever remember you go and you put the gas thing in there and you're on your phone? You don't care what those numbers are. You don't even care if they're cheating you.
Yeah, but gas compared to groceries right now?
Hold on a second. I remember a lot of guys don't go with the wives or the girlfriends to buy the groceries. You don't care. Listen, I want a beer. Why ain't there no beer? Because we didn't have money for it. Oh, I got to go. I got to go with you because we have to cut this out and this out and this out because I got to get my beer. Things are changing around you. You just have to change. But what I like about John is that if I go to John and says, okay, I'm looking for this, this, and this, and maybe I can find a way to invest some money over here, over there, with the strategies that he's had and he's seen, you can't go wrong. I'm telling you, you got to bet the smart money. I love my dad. My dad was the best, man. Because he used to say to my mother, we used to go to 7 different places for groceries. In the Bronx, in Manhattan, we used to drive. So I said to my dad one day, Dad, why are you spending all this gas? He says, gas was $1.12. He says, what are you worried about? We go to all these different places. We pick up meats in one, bread in another, juice in another, and the bill was 5 of us was under $100. Can't get that today. Got to buy right. Telling you, got to buy right.
Can. And how do people get your book, John?
They can get it on Amazon. It's called Build a Life, Not a Portfolio, because that is the core of my values and beliefs. It's not about the money. It's about using the money as a tool to build your best life. And you can get it on Amazon, or you can get in touch with me directly, guardianrockwealth.com, and just hit the contact us and send me a note. Say I'd like to have a copy of your book. You know, I'd love to chat with you, and I'm happy to send it. You know, I don't need to sell anymore. It's an Amazon bestseller. I don't really need to sell any books. I'm really interested in you guys getting the value out of that. So if you're interested, I'm happy to send you a copy.
That's what it is. It's all about your lifestyle,
I get
right?
a kick talking to him about what he thinks is coming tomorrow. You know, what's happening. Same thing with Frank. Between those two
These
over
three
there,
lined up, they're all going to tell us
it's
what's
kinda
coming tomorrow?
You know, I used to want to go see the Mets and the Marlins, right? Until I found out that getting to that stadium is nearly impossible. And then you spend over $200, $300 when you're there. The food is ridiculous. Right. And the Marlins are not expensive. Let me tell you, I look at some of the Major League Baseball, Marlins are not that expensive.
No, the Marlins are fairly inexpensive compared to the rest of the teams.
But you're going to spend money because whoever heard of eating one hot dog? Whoever heard of having just one beer?
And a $7 soda?
So I got on my phone and I bought for $150 the package on my phone. So I sit there, I could plug it into my TV, I could shoot it out to my TV, I could do what I want, and I get to see what I want to see for a lot less.
Sure.
That's buying right. And I went in that direction. I never did that before. You got to make the changes, and the changes aren't always pleasant. Trust me, got it. But until this thing settles one way or the other.
But it's like Paul, who quarterbacks, who call John and say, you know what, let's look at your lifestyle and see where we can cut, where we can reallocate, and what we can make some changes to make the rest of your life, what do they say, the best of your life? The things that you got to do for the rest of your life to have that quality of life. Because when you're in it, if you said to me, we're not eating that, I'll be resentful and go, well, why? I want that. But if John goes, you know, really we should cut this out, well, John said it, so maybe we should look at it a little bit differently. There's not the emotion to it.
But look at it now. You know how much money you spend in gas. You know what it is per gallon. You know for a radius of 3 miles what every gas station is. You ever did that before? Because if you did, I'll give you $1. I never did that before. And if I went to the grocery store and I wanted to have something and it ain't in the cart, it's because I didn't have the money to get there, where last week I did. So you got to sort of be real with what's going on right now. You got to sort of pinch yourself and say, listen, we're living in a different world right now. And I tell you, what did I tell you? A new what?
New world order?
That's right. That's what it is, the new world order.
But you need that third-party validation, I'm telling you, because there's nothing that a wife wants to hear less than from her spouse saying, oh, you can't eat that, you can't spend that money. And you're thinking, you're telling me that, why? Or vice versa, right? Yeah. You know, so it's just a family dynamic that you don't want to have the conversation.
The guilt is the biggest thing.
That's why we're going to call John and Paul. Imagine John and Paul in a room. It's like a joke. And then we're going to bring Frank in as the Pope. There is a financial planner, a reverse mortgage, a senior advisor, and the Pope all walk into the room when they said to you, right?
It's funny because you're changing the way how you look at things. You know?
It's not easy to make the changes, but yes.
And it's not, and you know, you still have electricity, you have what, you got the commons that you can't really do anything about unless you live in heat with no AC. Can you imagine? I had to cut all the AC off.
Does she have AC in her car?
She has no AC. I had to cut the AC at home off.
Why?
Because the bill went through the roof, and I got 3 giant ACs.
Oh, yeah, Linda told me about that.
Oh my God! And so I had to turn it back on because I have people working in there.
You turn the AC off?
And yeah, and I saved $100. But I got to tell you something. In the day, I used to do this with water.
Yeah, but you're not that age.
I know. But this is Dawn. I want to be able to live in the house. I got to cut down things that I can control.
Time to get out. Talk to John. I want to introduce John to Paul, though. I think that'll be a great introduction.
That'll be a good show.
Right? All right, let's take it. You want to wrap it up instead of a commercial break? See what else we got going on?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
All right, we got Sally starting her show.
Yes.
What time is that?
3 o'clock.
You
Call
ready?
me Zena.
I'm ready.
Are you nervous?
If Spirit is here, I'm not. If they're not, I am.
Well, Spirit's always here, so then you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
So if you have any questions on the collective for Sally to talk to, you want them to call in?
Yes, please call in. And the number is
888-994-4995, Studio B. We're going to have our collective asking her questions. I think Rose is coming in to
We're
hold
putting her
that
in B?
space.
Okay.
And see
So
how
what
that
are we
rolls.
putting in A?
You got your stuff you got
Here?
in there.
No, in here.
I don't know. Why?
Okay. All right, just want to ask.
I'll sit wherever you tell me.
We're going
right.
to Spirit's house.
Tune in today and we'll see what's going on.
We're going to put Frank on the editor's desk.
Definitely got to put Frank on the editor's desk.
I want to get his. You ever notice that Frank never gives. He's like a poker face man.
Always. You play poker well, Frank?
I do.
You
Yeah.
do play poker. Is that your poker face?
That's my poker face.
I mean, you don't even need sunglasses. It's like I don't. Somebody put a mirror up to see if he's still breathing. I can't even see this guy moving.
And he hears Spirit and that what they say. Me, I get all muddied in my head and what they're actually telling me. But he hears it.
Muddy, yeah, that's
Right?
a good idea.
He hears it and she hears it, so we'll see what comes out. All right, have a great afternoon, everyone. Tune in 3 o'clock. Call me Zena. More to come at 8:08 today or at 4:04. Set your intentions, clear your space, manifest what you so desire for the next year because it is the Lion's Gate.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.